Hi everyone. So thanks for stopping by the channel. Well, for years when I was in high school, my father encouraged me to read a certain book. So did I ever read it? No, of course not. Until a few days ago when I was cleaning out a few things and I came across the book and I finally sat down to read it. So the book is Dale Carnegie's How to Win Friends and Influence People, and it's a fantastic book. It was published in 1936 and it is extremely outdated in terms of language and in terms of gender roles, but if you can get past that, it's really packed with wisdom. The book has a lot to say about living life, and it's really important, I think, for the vegan movement. In the beginning of the book, it lists 12 things the book will do for you, and number 4 is help you win people to your way of thinking. Well, isn't that what we want, for people to understand why being vegan is so important? So here's what I learned. Number 1, become genuinely interested in the other person. And this is something I never considered in my dealings with non-vegans. In the past, if I found out someone ate animal products, I would mentally write them off as unintelligent or uninteresting. I only wanted to get my point across to them as quickly as possible with no consideration for their personal circumstances or background. But what I didn't get was the simple truth that if I want someone to be interested in my life and the way that I live, I must first be interested in theirs. I never bothered to establish a healthy relationship, and I used criticism. It may have been justified, but what we're dealing with as human beings, creatures of emotion. Criticism only leads to a person using every means to justify his or her behavior. They can become defensive and resistant. Number 2, I wasn't a particularly good listener. I was mentally preparing for what I was going to say next. I prided myself on my ability to refute every argument. And speaking of arguments, an important point in the book is that you can't win an argument. This simply makes the other person feel resentful. I may have won arguments, but I didn't sway opinions, and I showed no respect for their way of thinking. I may have been right, but that didn't matter because in an argument, both sides become entrenched in their own viewpoints. So as Carnegie puts it, the only way to get the best of an argument is to avoid it. If you clearly want to tell someone they're wrong, the book says start with something they can say yes to. For example, with non-vegans, you might start by saying something about their love for their own dog or cat. We in the vegan movement tend to draw attention to the mistake of eating animals first, but according to Carnegie, we should instead be talking about our own mistakes first. Almost all of us ate meat at one time. We may have even had some early failures at going vegan. So humility can go a long way to winning someone over to your way of thinking. Carnegie also suggests that we praise people for small improvements. He says praise inspires people to see that they're capable of continuing to improve and completely changing their lives and the lives of others. We need to encourage people that being vegan is easy, that their current diet is really easy to correct. Something else I wasn't doing was assuming that everyone you meet is really a person of integrity and compassion. In the words of Carnegie, give the other person a fine reputation to live up to. Assume and state that the other party has the virtue you want him or her to develop. So in the case of non-vegans, it might be compassion for farmed animals or concern for the environment. Carnegie even suggests ways of motivating people, such as a challenge. And this may be why those 30-day vegan challenges are so effective. So now I want my encounters with non-vegans to end so that the person leaves feeling good about themselves. And I want to leave the door open to further conversation. While I really admire people who are out there doing direct action, I'm no longer certain that it's an effective way to get others to go vegan. If you get the chance to read the book for yourself, do so. It's a little funny because it's so dated, but try to look past that and see the real gems it contains and how relevant it is to the vegan movement. So thanks for watching, everyone, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye-bye.